The rules do apply to you. And here's the deal. The rules apply to Cristy. The rules apply to me. They apply to my husband, Brandon. They apply to Oprah. They apply to even the supermodels who drink Diet Coke and don't eat and smoke cigarettes to stay skinny. Not all of them. Okay. Some of them are very healthy. The rules are still the rules.
I'm Cristy Code Red, and you're listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle, where we believe food holds the power to heal or poison, and we believe our society has been misled regarding proper nutrition and weight loss. You're in the right place if you're looking for some straight up truth, because I'm here to shed light on the lies and brainwashing that has taken place over the past 5 decades. Thanks so much for listening. Welcome back to another episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. I'm your host, Cristy Code Red, author, entrepreneur, retired professional boxer, being joined by Carrie Thompson. And boy, we've got a good one for you today. And so many of these podcasts, they stem from just sisters having conversation. It's funny, Carrie, how we can, going on 6 years now, work together and we blend being sisters with work stuff, because we're this lifestyle of real food, water, and sleep is so ingrained in us. And it's a part of our lifestyle, even in our everyday life with your spouse, with our families, with the way that we live our life. So really ingraining Code Red with our sister talk, it's like it just kind of, it flows. And so out of one of our sister talks came this topic, losing sight of what works. That's the name of the podcast, Losing Sight of What Works. And out of our sister conversation came this topic.
So I find this very interesting because I even talk to people who are rebels currently losing weight, currently doing the grind. And they come up, Cristy, with these ideas in their head. Have you noticed this? To justify. It was very interesting. So I don't think she would care if I use her name. I'm going to use Christine for an example, Christine, when we were talking to Christine. And Christine, you know, we love you. She's coming up on 200 pounds down with Code Red. She's right around the corner from 200 pounds. And the other day she said that she's an amazing mother. She bakes her own bread for the kids and she bakes sourdough. And she says to herself, when she's wanting to get off track during weight loss mode, again, you can have sourdough bread when you're not in weight loss mode. We're not doing anything wrong with that. But she'll say to herself, well, it's homemade and it's sourdough. And I'm fermenting it, which is a healthier way to eat your food. And then she'll say, so maybe like, I feel like that's justified. That is a great, and she knows that wasn't justified. I mean, she gets it. She got her own, it's like she got her own crap when we were talking to her, right, Cristy? Remember, she was like, I know. Like she knew it, but it is a way to forget what is working. It's a way that we as humans are so complex, Cristy. We're such complex people that we are able to try to kind of, I'm going to justify that. I'm going to make it work. And people get, what we find is that people get away from what was working for them. And then they wonder why they have problems.
But even Christine did it, even though she knew at the time she was doing it, she knew it was wrong, but she justified it and she followed through with it. And it led to a whole host of problems. It led to a whole month of problems for her that now she's back on track. Everything's okay. But she still did it. Even the best of them fall, we like to say. And it's really funny what happens in the justification starts taking place. Every single, we've had people, rebels, leave the community, coaches, mentors. Back in the day, we called them leaders, like assistant coaches, and they've left their lifestyle and they've gained back some, and in some cases, all of their weight. And they go on this I hate Cristy thing, I hate Cristy, I hate Code Red, I hate the book, burn the book, and the bottom line is you've lost sight of what works. You have dabbled here, dabbled there. The rules are in place for a reason. And we're not just trying to be, these are Cristy's rules. These are the rules. This is the truth.
Have you noticed, Cristy, like, let's say you're laying in bed late at night and you hear a sound or you see a shape And what happens is same thing with looking at clouds in the sky. Our brain tries really hard to take that shape and associate it with something we know. Our brain is amazing at trying to work around the truth. So you see a chair and it's got a coat slumped over it and you think it's someone rising out of the chair. No one's rising out of the chair. It's a coat in the chair. That's the truth. But your brain tries really hard. You hear something and you go, oh, that sounds like a line from that one song, or, oh, that's not someone breaking in downstairs. That sounds like breaking glass. So our brains try really hard to make associations, and it tries to kind of work around what the truth is. That's normal. So when we see this kind of behavior in people that are taking their life back and trying to lose weight and get their health back, we see the same kind of association, trying to make it okay, because it's kind of the rules. Yes, sourdough bread is better than Wonder Bread off the shelf. Let's be clear. No, we're not going to argue that, but it's still a way of looking at a hanger hanging up in the closet and going, oh, is that a monster? Of course it's not a monster. It's the same idea. And I think if we can draw a correlation between it is our natural human tendency to make excuses to try to work around. Okay. Can I tell where this came from? Can I give a very big?
I was going to say that if you listen to the January 11th podcast of the top 10 stupid things people say to you when you're losing weight, did you listen to that, sis? I know you didn't.
No, I will though. It's on my chicken barn lineup.
Well, you'll know that the deck is stacked against you because people say some crap to you, and you might be surrounded by everyone who is on who is not on Code Red, or maybe on a different plan, or they're all obese. They're all just doing Margarita Mondays and Domino's Pizza and Karma Macchiatos and Cake Pops. You might be the only one in your life. This is why it's so important that you stay connected to the community, but the deck is stacked against you. But that doesn't mean you can't do it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the grind is hard. Like we've talked about that before. The grind is going to be hard. People don't get it. In fact, at the time of this recording, we have some VIP coaching that has just been rolled out. And one of the people, they can either sign up with Cristy or myself. One of the persons that signed up with me wrote to me, and they were talking about everyone now that she's down 139 pounds. She has 50 more pounds to go. And she said, everybody's like, you're getting too skinny. And so you know what? The deck is, no matter what, you know that saying, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, it's just true. You're heavy. It's not good. You lose a little bit of weight. Everyone has a fit. So that hasn't changed. Okay. Can I tell the story now?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. So here's the story, y'all. Listen up. Cristy and I were looking at a former Code Red person. I'll just make it super easy. And they left Code Red under some angst. And and I won't even give you the details because that's just not appropriate. But I will tell you that over the last couple of years that they've been gone, they have slowly, and heartbreaking for me and Cristy, we have watched this person through social media put back on the weight. So Cristy finally sent me a picture today. She's like, this breaks my heart. And I was like, let me just tell you, like, when I first started Code Red, it didn't break my heart. And Cristy was heartbroken over y'all. She would cry. It was terrible. But I will say that I have become more sensitive to it. So Cristy sent me the picture. It's not to make fun of. It's not in jest. It is just makes me so sad. And this person, of course, is like, burn the bridges. I never want to see Code Red again. And you're like, and is doing their own thing. We've heard through the grapevine. And Cristy, they have just gained their weight. And it's just insidious. It's little by little, but now it is so obvious that it's just like, oh my gosh. So I wrote to Cristy. And I said to Cristy, what is going on with this person? And she wrote back to me, it's the workaround. They have, for whatever reason, be mad at Code Red or whatever, they have forgotten what worked. They forgot the basics of real food, water, and sleep. And it is that coat in the corner. It's that, is someone breaking into my house? It's that mind justification we try to do to be able, like I said it to Cristy, they want to have their cake and they want to eat it too.
And I was just saying that to these, to my VIP group. Again, you can always join the VIP coaching at any time. You can stop and start whenever you want, and you can do VIP coaching with Carrie. That's VIP Gold. And then Cristy is VIP Platinum, and you can go to coderedlifestyle.com/VIP. And so Carrie, she is beating me out. She definitely has. It's a lower price program. Mine includes a VIP breakfast. It includes turning in your weight. Carrie's doesn't include as many, but it's a lot. It's half the price. So, I was just talking to my rebels this morning, because you get a daily 1 to 3 daily messages a day from me directly to your phone. I was just saying, it doesn't matter what you think of me. It doesn't matter what you think of Code Red. The rules still apply. You can't have tortillas. Because I saw on this girl's page, I scrolled through the pictures. That's how I found her. And I just was like, oh no. Because what really struck me was that there had been a significant gain in only 3 months. She had gained back quite a bit, but then gained back all of it in this whole last 3 months. And I just was like, all that work and all of it is just down the tube. And so I looked through the pictures of what she was eating, and it's all the workarounds, sis. It's low carb, and it's like low carb tortillas, and it's keto this, and it's keto that. It doesn't matter what you think of Cristy or the book or Carrie or Carrie's goats or anything that's going on with Code Red. It doesn't matter. The workaround is the workaround, and you're losing sight of what works. And eventually you don't have to call it, just call it what you want, because we call it the proper human diet. Eventually you're going to come back around to this.
Oh, I didn't know you looked.
I
didn't know you looked at the stuff and saw what they were eating.
Yeah. She's got quite a bit of pictures posted, because she thinks she's doing the right thing. She's like, look at what I get to eat. And then you look at her and say, it's not working.
Then look at how much. I'm all for it working. If you've got another plan that works, if you want to do Whole30, if you want to do Mediterranean, if you want to do keto, I don't give a crap. I don't like the really low calories. I don't like the HCG, these new meds we have on the market. The minute you quit taking them, you're going to gain your weight back. Sorry, but it's true. So I don't like that, but do what you want. But if it's working, then you would not have such obvious weight gain.
Yeah.
If it's working, I'm okay with you turning away from Code Red and going and doing something else. If you can be healthy and live a healthy lifestyle and maintain your weight loss or something close to it, Cristy and I are like, good for you.
And eventually the community that they're forming is going to see through that. Eventually it doesn't matter how you hate on Cristy or how you say there's no shame in being heavy. Well, there is no shame in it, but it's not healthy and you need to get your weight down. We love you. You should love yourself unconditionally. We've done other podcasts on this, but eventually you have to face the fact that it's not even working for you. So why should I pay you to help me get my weight off? That's why Carrie and I are walking the lifestyle. That's why I post progress pictures of my own body on Instagram. I wear dresses that are tight so that you can see that I'm a product of the product, and you can see our coaches. You should see what they have to go through, sis. Our coaches and our mentors every single month, first of the month, they turn in progress pictures of themselves to me, not because I'm a tyrant or a jerk. It's because people are watching them, and you got to be a product of your product.
Oh, that's so interesting. Cristy, I feel like we should do another podcast on this cancel culture and this obesity epidemic, as far as accepting obesity as healthy.
Right.
And I can't even get started on it. Okay. I can't. I'll get off on a tangent. And then Cristy will be like, stop the recording. We're starting a new podcast. I want to read a scripture to you guys. This is one that we grew up, our mom read to us all the time. So I don't know why I'm bothering to look at my phone, but Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Here's the deal. We want to lean on our own understanding with our walk with Christ and in our eating. And I see people do it. It's just like Christine, I love you. I'm not talking bad about you. It's just like justifying the sourdough. And when we were working with this person, they would come up with these breads that were like basically all nuts and like egg and oil. And then you bake them and you slice them, and it's sort of like a bread. And they would say, well, only for people in, they would try to justify these recipes. And Cristy and I let it go, a little bit, but it didn't quite jive with the lifestyle. And so I imagine that's a lot of what's going on, is like, look at these things you can do, but they don't understand that it's not getting people where they need to go. People have to keep it simple. They have to drink their water. They have to eat real food. They have to sleep, and they can't eat eggs, bacon, avocados, guys, not 50 keto recipes that you found online. You're going to get yourself in trouble. Trust me, you'll overeat. That's a whole nother podcast. But Cristy, sometimes we say, I just think maybe it's different for me. I just think maybe sourdough bread is different. I just think maybe M&Ms with no sugar, but a bunch of carbs, they're fine. I just think maybe I don't need to drink all my water today. I just think maybe the rule on sleep doesn't apply to me. And they have just come so far from what the basic tenets are. And people do that with Christianity. I just think maybe I don't need to go to church on Sundays. I just think maybe I don't need a relationship with Christ because I'm a good person. Oh, I stepped on some toes. Back on up. And we cherry pick. And we take the parts we like. We love when we talk about God in church and God's love and his mercy. We don't want to talk about the judgment of God. We don't want to talk about the things that happened in the Bible because of God putting his foot down. When Noah went in the ark, everybody on earth died except for Noah and his sons and their wives. Everybody. There wasn't an exception. There wasn't a waiting list. Nobody listened. They all died. That's the other side of God. That's another part of God. And so nobody wants to talk about how keto bread won't get you to your goal. Nobody wants to talk about how your homemade tortillas using almond flour, when you eat too many, it's going to get you further from your goal. So we've just come so far from these, get way out there, Cristy, and they forget the basics.
How about the workaround when it comes to your taxes? How about when I'm not talking about using the tax code to your advantage. Use the tax code to your advantage. That's what you didn't write those rules. I'm talking about cheating on your taxes. How about the work? Oh, it's just a little bit. Oh, I'm just claiming a little more than what how about the workaround on your marriage? How about, well, I'm just texting him, someone other than your husband. We're just texting. Oh, we just went out for coffee. That's the workaround, and it gets dangerous really quick. How about the workaround on your parenting? You said no iPad after 7 p.m. and then it starts sneaking in, and these little things start sneaking in, and you're justifying it. And that's what we do. We justify it in our minds. I know I justify. I'm on a transformation journey, as you guys all know, and it's been so hard because it's really intense, and it takes up a lot of hours during the day, and it's a lot of energy. And I realize I'm doing a big goal, and that's what it takes, and that's fine. But El Jefe, me, the one that's the leader of this Code Red revolution, the one that's doing a worldwide documentary, the whole world's going to see Code Red. I even try to justify it in my mind, and I'll just blank. I'll just not eat tomorrow. I'll just I'll just go a little harder on the stair climber. That doesn't work. It never works. It never works. Cheating is cheating. You can't exercise it off. It's like the tiramisu. The damage is done. You can't just go throw it up. What are you going to do? And even I justify crap in my mind, or at least I can catch myself doing that. You can't get away with that. You just can't. It's going to come back around and bite you.
So I was working in the ER the other day, Cristy, and a gal from the med surge floor came over to help me out. And she was talking about her weight loss journey. Now, to date, she has lost 50 pounds. She needs to buy some new scrubs. They're huge. But that's a whole nother story. And she was taking either the shots every week. You know how they get the shots every week, or the pills. And these are new drugs. I mean, FDA approved for weight loss. And I want to be completely transparent and tell you that when she was telling me about it, I went, ooh, and Cristy, I caught myself. I don't need the shots. I don't need the pills. That's not what I'm saying. I was looking for it to be easier. I was looking for them, even though, how long have I worked for you? How many people have I helped? But there was something that called to a part of me. And I was like, ooh, I want it to be easier. I want it to be as easy as a shot every week. And it is until this lady quits taking the shots. And then I guarantee you, she will gain every pound back. I guarantee it. I'm not being mean. I'm not trying to talk bad about her, but nothing has changed. I sat there and watched her eat. What was she eating? Popcorn. And popcorn, like, that's fine if you're not in weight loss mode. I don't have a problem with popcorn, but she ate popcorn all night long. But because it does whatever, I guess it wasn't very much popcorn. It changes your intake. I don't know the pharmacokinetics on these meds. I just haven't done the research. But Cristy, I actually was like, ooh, I wonder if, and I was talking to a friend of mine that does not do Code Red, that needs to lose 100+ pounds. And she was like, I'm going to do the med. And I was like, yeah, but when you quit taking it, nothing will have changed. Your A1C is going to go down, but nothing's changed. So we're all looking to see that the rules don't apply to us. We're all looking to not have to trust in the Lord with all our heart. We're all looking and not having to trust Cristy Code Red in the things. The rules are there for a reason. The rules about marriage and the rules about not chatting with people that aren't your husband or your wife, the rules about weight loss, they're all there for your protection. It's not because Cristy is mean. It's not because she doesn't like you. It's not because any of that. It's because she knows that we tend to stray and we tend to justify, even with the rules. So that's why the rules are in place. But we all want to say the rules don't apply to us, and we get so far from the basics.
I recently redecorated my condo, and I'm using a designer that I've used for 6 other projects. I absolutely adore her. She's great. And I will refrain from using the name of the store just because of what I'm getting ready to say. When I walked in to pick up a rug. And when I walked in, I saw in the back where the employees sit, there was a big pizza box with cold pizza in there. And a woman sitting there, she works there, and she said, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. I've been following you for years. I've always wanted to meet you." And my designer said, "This is so-and-so. She's recently lost 100 pounds. And I said, "Oh my goodness, that's amazing. How did you do it?" She said, "Gastric bypass." I said, "Okay." And I said, "Have you, and of course my spidey sense was like, she was sitting down, but I could tell that she wasn't at where she needed to be. And I said, "Have you gained any weight back?" She goes, only 14 pounds. And immediately, I almost jumped on her trying to be, I said, no. I said, "You've got to get on that." I said, you're losing sight of what works. I mean, this worked for you. By gastric bypass will work. We don't think it's the best method, but we've done videos on this. It will work. You do have to follow a set of rules for that. Okay. She quit following the set of rules for the gastric bypass and has gained back 14 pounds. But the 14 pounds doesn't bother me as much as her reaction to it was so nonchalant. Well, we all know that 14 turns into 25, turns into 32, turns into 56. And pretty soon you're 78 pounds up from the 100 that you lost. And it's insidious and it happens quickly. And you lost sight of the way of what worked, and you let things sneak in little. And I just could see her life flash before me, and she just was so nonchalant. Only 14 pounds. Stop. Arrest that right now. Oh, we've only met for coffee once. Myself and this guy, when I have a husband at home. Oh, stop it right now before it gets into sexting. Stop it before it gets into meeting for drinks after work. Stop it right now. It might seem innocent and maybe you haven't done anything. It's gonna go further if you're not careful, and you're losing sight of what works here. And it's scary. And that's what scares me, is how nonchalant people are about it.
And this reminds me exactly of a story about another one of my VIP people who messaged me and said, "I quit weighing." Yeah. When they got on the scale, they were up 20 pounds. Now, this person is going to do fine. They're going to get their weight off. I'm not even worried about them. What worries me is the fact that you don't think the rules apply to you. Buying bread and bringing it home. The rules don't apply to you. The rules do apply to you. And here's the deal. The rules apply to Cristy. The rules apply to me. They apply to my husband, Brandon. They apply to Oprah. They apply to even the supermodels who drink Diet Coke and don't eat and smoke cigarettes to stay skinny. Not all of them. Okay. Some of them are very healthy. The rules are still the rules. They're still the rules. And I don't know at what point, Cristy, do people, I think it's that cloud in the sky. Oh, look, it's an alien ship. I mean, I think it's the coat in the corner. It's the sound at night that you hear trying to justify our behaviors. When you stop trusting the process, is when you start to justify behaviors.
We talk about the weight regain a lot, and in bodybuilding, we call it the rebound. And so what I'm going to get on stage at is not what I'll live my life at. Getting on stage, you're ultra lean, you're in single digit body fat. It's not a healthy place to be, but it's the place where it's going to show your muscles the most. It's the lowest body fat percentage. And then you bounce back to a healthy weight that you stay at for the rest of your life. I had a girl named Allegra that works at the gym. She's new at Mecca. And she said something profound. And she said, when you get your rebound plan, which I did not know there was a rebound plan. It's just like our maintenance plan, but we just call it a different name. She said, when you get your rebound plan, you need to follow it even closer than the plan that got you on stage. And it just, I don't know, Carrie, it just hit me. And I was like, wow. She just said, it's more important that you follow the rebound plan. And I got to tell you, I feel the same way about my maintenance rebels. The people who have entered into the maintenance program, it's a slippery slope if you're not careful. And I watched them like a hawk. And there's one girl she's in our maintenance program. She's on my documentary and she's in maintenance. And I'm watching her carefully. She's struggling and I'm scared for her. And I'm checking in with her and I'm watching her separately. That she's not even paying for the extra. I care for her and I want so bad for her to make this work. And I'm scared. I'm scared for what's going to happen. And I got to tell you, sis, I'm a little scared for myself coming out of that competition. I'm scared about gaining all my weight back. I have lost almost 20 pounds so far. It'll be 30 by the time I get on stage. And I am nervous about bouncing all the way back. And I ain't got no clothes because I gave them all to you. So it is a slippery slope, and I can't lose sight of what got me here. I feel so good. I'm smaller than I've ever been in my life. I love the way I look and feel. And I have to keep recommitting to that thought every day, even when the competition is over, because you can do the workaround and you can justify crap in your mind so easily.
Like, I don't need to weigh. I don't need to drink my water. The rules are there for a reason. Cristy's plans are there for a reason. And I agree 100%. I mean, I don't think you should worry because I think you will have a good plan in place. And that's why we take good care of our maintenance. If you follow the rules, maintenance is so easy. I tell the weight loss people that when they're really struggling, when they're tired of the grind, it's easy, guys. We teach you how to keep the weight off, but it doesn't go away. I mean, it doesn't stop just because you're in maintenance. And same thing for Cristy. It doesn't stop. But I feel like it's okay to lean into the wisdom of the program. It's okay to lean into those rules and not work around. Someone was at my house recently, Cristy, and they spent the entire time a little bit overweight, but looking at all the keto recipes online. Stop. You're trying to make the rules not apply to you. You're trying to see something that isn't there. You're forgetting what got you where you wanted to be. If you find yourself on the food channel all the time, if you find yourself kind of slipping on the basics, not recording things, not being aware, that is a sign and a symptom that you're forgetting what got you successful in the first part.
And not getting on your scale is the first thing that people do. That's the beginning of the end for them is that's what I do. Me too. I'm like, this is what I say. Oh, I'm already dressed. I'll wait tomorrow morning. Oh, well, I really need to poop. So maybe I'll just wait tomorrow morning after I poop. I do the same. If I am not in a good spot, that's what I do, Cristy. So trust me, you guys aren't saying anything that we haven't already heard of or thought about or done. When I stepped on main stage at KetoCon in 2022 as a speaker, the first thing I said, which probably why they're not asking me back, but the first thing I said on stage was KetoCon. Like, this is the largest keto conference in the world. And we got keto everything here. Like, we know sugar ruins lives. We know sugar is 9 times more addictive than heroin. We know. So then why are the majority of people around here overweight? And I looked at the ceiling. I said, I ain't looking at anybody specific. I'm just going to keep every head bowed and every eye closed. I said, why is it that so many people in the audience right now and so many people walking through the pavilion, why is there so many people who have a weight problem? If you know, well, it's because of all this keto crap. And I'm all for taking the sugar out of things for your kids, but I'm not. It's just, guys, it's the workaround. When you're an adult and you're working your way through weight loss mode, you can't lose sight of what works. And KetoCon is a great place to lose sight of what works. And man, you can get wrapped up in that. And people walking around with being heavy and being metabolically broken. And guys, it doesn't make any sense, does it?
No. And I think part of that, Cristy, is the food industry has shifted because they know everyone wants the keto. So they've shifted, but the crap ingredients still remain. And it's great for your kids. Like, if you're going to give them cheese puffs, I'd much rather have you get the actual fat and cheese and almond flour, actual real cheese puffs for them. That's fine. But for you, Cristy, let me go back. Every time I go to Walmart, if I see the sugar-free candy and I feel myself saying, well, it's sugar-free. If those words cross your mind, or, oh, it's low carb, even though it's not on plan, that is an indicator that you are slipping. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, well, it's Russell Stover's. It's a sugar-free pecan nut roll, Carrie. Stop. That is how I know I'm slipping. That and staying off the scale. Well, I have my own not following the rules. I mean, I've got, like, I know you got to know your tells, like in poker. What are your tells? Isn't that what they call them? Your tell, your giveaways.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like your poker face or whatever.
Yeah. Like every time he's got an ace, he rubs his nose.
Right.
Every time you stop getting on the scale, you know you're headed there. You're trying to work it around. You're saying the rules don't apply to you. You forgot what got you where you were being. This person we were talking about in the first part of the podcast, they have forgotten what got them to this successful, correct body weight for their body size. They've forgotten that. So going back because of their anger and their resentment and their hurt feelings, instead of going back to what they know works, they forget the science, they forget the rules, and they try to recreate the wheel. Why are we recreating the wheel? The Bible says there is nothing new under the sun, and there isn't.
Spending time bashing on the Code Red lifestyle instead of spending time working about getting that water in, making sure you get to bed on time, and make sure you just eat real food instead of processed stuff, or the Carl's Jr. Whatever, the keto baconator or something. Come on, guys. Like, you're wasting energy on hating me and hating Code Red when you should be just getting back to basics. Don't call it Code Red. Don't think about me. Just think about what works. I'm 100% sis. You're so right about that.
Amen. I agree with you totally. And I'm glad we talked about this because I think it's kind of the I hate to say this, but like the redheaded stepchild, the ugly truth, the ugly hidden truth about what happens with people.
And these people aren't making progress when they continue to do this workaround. They're not making progress. Even the leader is not someone that you want to aspire to. And eventually people come back to Code Red because they know, all right, like, I get it. I get that. No, there's no shame in being heavy. Well, it's still not healthy. Your A1C is out of control. You're back on your CPAP machine. You're back on loads of medication. Your plantar fasciitis is back. Your what's it called? The psoriatic arthritis is back. You're back on chemo drugs to treat that. Like, this is an indication you need to get back on what works, and you've lost sight of what works because for whatever reason. And we encourage you to, like, don't give it a name, just call it the proper human diet, say what you want, but you have lost sight of what works and you've got to get back to it. Well, What a good podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. You are welcome to join our VIP program, coderedlifestyle.com/VIP. Just read about it. I think you're going to find it to be a great value. Do it for a month, do it for 6 months. We hope you stay with us for a long time. It's a great way to stay connected. It's called VIP Connection for a reason. And we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you, everybody. Hey, I'm Cristy Code Red, and thank you for listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. If you want to stay connected to other rebels like you, join us in our private network. Our Code Red app is a one-stop shop, free from ads, algorithms, and censorship, and a place where you can see, listen, and watch everything Code Red. You'll be encouraged, motivated, and fired up to stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Get recipe ideas, tips, tricks, and help from coaches, mentors, and other rebels. You can also purchase products, programs, and coaching all right there in one place. And if you have any trouble navigating the app, we're right there to help you. Go to coderedlifestyle.com/APP to join for free. And I'll see you on the next episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle.